What if I told you one man survived 2 atomic bombs in 2 different cities in the same week? You would say that is impossible. You would be wrong. This is the true story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the only man officially recognized as a survivor of both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yamaguchi was a 29-year-old Japanese engineer on a business trip to Hiroshima on the morning of August 6, 1945. He was walking to collect documents before catching a train home to his family. He was 3 kilometers from the center of the city when the first atomic bomb ever dropped on a human city detonated directly above him. The flash blinded him. The shockwave threw him off his feet. His arms were severely burned. When he opened his eyes, the entire city of Hiroshima was on fire. He spent the night in an air raid shelter, badly burned and in serious pain, and the next morning he did something almost incomprehensible. He got up, found 2 surviving colleagues, and boarded a train home to Nagasaki because his wife and infant son were waiting for him, and he was going home. He arrived in Nagasaki on August 8, saw a doctor, rested, and on the morning of August 9 he reported to work at the Mitsubishi factory because despite surviving an atomic bomb he was a man who showed up. His supervisor asked what had happened to him. Yamaguchi began describing the bomb, the flash, the mushroom cloud, the entire city destroyed in 1 second. His supervisor looked at him and said, "One bomb cannot possibly do all of that. You must be exaggerating." At that exact moment, at 11:02 in the morning of August 9, 1945, the second atomic bomb detonated directly over Nagasaki. Yamaguchi was less than 3 kilometers from the center, the same distance he had been in Hiroshima. The same blinding flash, the same shockwave, the same fire, the same man. Twice, he survived again. He found his wife and son alive, and they walked out of Nagasaki together. In the weeks after he lost his hair from radiation, he developed high fever. His burns became infected. Every doctor around him expected him to die. He did not die. He recovered, raised a family, went back to work, and lived a completely ordinary life for decades. In his 70s he finally began speaking publicly. He testified before the United Nations. He wrote a memoir. He spent his final years telling the world what 2 atomic bombs actually feel like from 3 kilometers away, and begging them to never use these weapons again. He was officially recognized by the Japanese government in 2009 as the only double atomic bomb survivor in history. He died peacefully in 2010. He was 93 years old. The odds of surviving 1 atomic bomb at 3 kilometers are almost impossible to calculate. The odds of surviving both in 2 different cities 3 days apart are beyond any number that makes sense. And yet, there he was, 93 years old, having outlived not 1 but 2 moments that should have ended everything. This was Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the man who survived the impossible twice. If this story moved something inside you, share it with someone today, and subscribe because there are hundreds more stories like this one, and they deserve to be told.